safe area.
Hey guys, and welcome to Shadow Gaming. So today is April 1st and I was going to go over the patch notes for title update 8.5 that was released just yesterday. I know I'm a day late. I'm going to be working on the news for the Division 2 lately. Just going to keep up with that. I still am playing the game, but as you guys can see, I am downloading Destiny 2 right now, and I'm going to go ahead and check that game out. It's not the whole band thing for me personally, it's just mostly the drama surrounding it, all this stuff, massive studios and everything. It's just making me feel kind of gross right now. So anyway, for right now, I'm going to keep up with the Division 2, give you guys the news and everything I can to keep you guys updated. Daily targeted loot will still continue along with weekly vendor resets and Cassie Mendoza resets. But for right now, let me get into the meat of this. So let's get it started. So you guys already had the weekly maintenance last night, so that's already over, so that doesn't matter. But let's go on to the patch notes. First off, we have bug fixes. They fixed an issue that caused the tip of the spear talents, aggressive recon, and crossbow expert to trigger when standing inside a DZ safe house or DZ control point. Now this was horrible. I was hearing about this a lot. I mean, being able to use your specialization in the dark zone, it's absolutely ridiculous. I don't know how this got through and how it just took so long to get fixed. As far as I know, no one was really going into the dark zone at all, because why would you? I mean, when this stuff's going on, then the damage glitch is going on, there's no real reason to go in there unless you want to see some crazy shit. Fixed an issue causing targeted loot to drop more than once when failing and retrying the target practice open world activity like Widdz did. Okay, so this one is getting fixed, and apparently there might be a second ban wave for that. I don't want to say anything yet, but that's just what I'm hearing. Fixed an issue causing a player to receive self-damage when killing an enemy player affected by the full flag debuff. That's good. I'm glad that's getting taken care of as well. Fixed an issue causing no explosion to occur on down players when an enemy player affected by the full flag debuff is down. Yeah, True Patriot set was really messed up. All the gear sets have been. Even when they fixed Hardwired, it's still not fixed. You have to unequip the backpack and re-equip it. So all the gear sets aren't even viable right now, and I don't know why you wouldn't, because like you guys all know from the horrible state of the game today, they're nerfing probably the M1A, but they are definitely nerfing the Fox Prayer knee pads, and they're nerfing the Hollow Man mask. You know, the two almost necessary things for a DPS build, because there really isn't much build variety. And of course, I'm talking about the people that want to do heroic and legendary content. Before you guys bash on me for that, it really is for people that want to do the harder content. Now, yeah, you can go on normal. You can reduce the difficulty, no directives, and you can shred through it. I understand that. But people keep wanting to push the limits, and of course, most importantly, they're under the impression that there's better loot behind the gated walls of Legendary and Heroic. And through the RNG drop test that people have done with the revive glitch, everyone knows that's bullshit. The loot quality in this game is horrible, and I'm going to get to that in another video. But for now it is. I'm assuming after Title Update 9 drops next month, they might release that gate a little bit and let it flow more correctly, since there should be a lot of backlash on this, and I'm seeing not enough on it. It's too much focused on the ban and not enough on how ridiculous things were shown with the damage glitch and the revive glitch. I mean, it was showing a lot, guys, how bad the loot system worked, which we already knew, I guess, but it was showing it in almost a developer mode, basically. So that's a huge gripe. But anyway, back to things. Game balance, Lady Death will no longer enhance turret skills. I disagree with this. I don't care. I mean, I guess you could say this is a bug or something, but I didn't care about this. I'm also not a PvP player, so take that with a grain of salt. Alright, so Title Update 8.5 Preview. We are also working on Title Update 8.5, which is scheduled to be released next week, with the exact timing to still be ironed out. Title Update 8.5 is a client update, which will allow us to include more fixes and changes that, for example, require a UI change, but it also requires a bit more time to be finished and tested. Another update, currently scheduled for later in April, will have some additional changes that are not quite ready. Agents, as we talked about on State of the Game 153, we are trying to give you some timelines on the issues we are currently working on and when we expect them to go out. As said on this show, our studio is mostly working from home, which has an impact on how quick we can create these fixes and have them tested and deployed, except for the damage glitch. We are planning to release Title Update 5 to deploy further fixes in early April and are currently looking at the following changes. Bug fixes. Fixing an issue causing graphic issues and crashes on PC due to corrupted shader cache files. This is pretty good. I believe this is something to do with verifying your files on the uPlay app, and hopefully that makes it a little bit better. I don't know for sure though. Fixing an issue causing the loss of the Striker's gamble stacks or not being able to acquire them. Yeah, that needed to be fixed a while ago, but I'm assuming that has something to do with the hit registration problem in the game that already exists. And it's just horrible that Strikers came out like this. It came out broken. It's been broken. I have a really good rolled mask, chest piece, backpack, holster. I have really good rolls on them. And it's a lot easier to get the good rolls on the gear sets because you don't have as many rolls. So it's easier to max those out. Even so, even with me unequipping the backpack and re-equipping it, I gotta admit, when the stacks do work, they're still not as good as a high-end DPS build. And that's bad. They need to fix that and balance it, but so far I'm not seeing anything yet. Fixing an issue causing agents to be unable to revive teammates. Yeah, thank you. I hope that really is fixed. Fixing an issue causing the League UI to completely reset. The League challenges will still reset for week 2, which will allow players to continue their progress. Yeah, if you guys have had that happen as well to you guys, I did for sure. Now, I definitely noticed that the League on the top right was just in my way, basically. It would just reset. I would do them in under 16 minutes for certain things like DCD headquarters and I think Federal Emergency Bank, but it wouldn't show it. I would get the reward for it or whatever, but it wouldn't show it. So I'm glad that's getting fixed, but this is all messed up anyway because there's so many people they didn't ban, that did the raid and everything in, a couple of minutes or whatever, and I don't get this. Whatever. Gameplay changes. Control points can now be reset by changing global difficulty. Thank you. Changing directives will not reset control points. Okay, that's good. I'm glad for that, especially in Warlords of New York, because we paid $30 for an expansion and we got this big map, but nobody ever goes to it. You would go to the Wall Street mission and farm the hell out of it to get that Bullet King, which I did, and it's going to be taken from me. I got it on, I think, March 19th. Without any glitching, because everyone knows you're gonna be in it for like maybe, I don't know, a few hours and then it's done. But anyway, so the map really, really needed this. We've had the expansion, I believe, for a month now, and almost a month, and I think it's a month as of today. And for some reason, the control points never reset once for an entire month. And the streets and everything are beautiful. I mean, New York looks great. But for some reason, the control points never would reset, so no one ever goes there. And that's why a lot of people say, I have this $30 expansion that I don't even use. And that's true. And it needed to be fixed a while ago. And I'm glad it's hopefully being fixed. It doesn't say New York. It just says control points. Anyone in the comment section below, please tell me if your NYC is resetting. I'll have to check it out later tonight after the daily targeted loot video. Balance changes. All right, let's get into the balance changes. For NPCs, the BTSU support station, reducing tick rate of support station healing, thank God. Elite support stations will only provide overheal once per NPC, sorry. That's great as well. That's going to be great in combat. To only overheal one NPC at a time instead of all of them being overhealed at once. Yeah, thank you. Capping the heal amount a NPC can receive from the support station. That's good. I hope they cap it at a good amount. Warhounds, increasing intention icon during the duration to allow players more time to react to the windup. Okay, that's good as well. Reducing the 360 spin from the Warhound minigun to 2 spins, down from 3. Damn, there was 3? Increasing windup warning of triple shoot of Warhound Grenadier. Increasing after shot delay of triple shot of Warhound Grenadier, whatever. Slightly increasing the cooldown of moving shot of Warhound Grenadier. Okay, so these are good. I don't know exactly how it'll feel, but I think that overall they're going to keep balancing this game until Title Update 9. That's when they might hit the jackpot and everything. And by jackpot, I mean it'll be a much more playable game than right now. But anyway, tank architect reaction to hive turret. Adding more distance checks so tanks don't rush at a hive next to a player. Okay. Let's see. Reducing threat limit so tanks don't switch targets too suddenly. Outcast Incendiary Molotov, reducing the duration and tick damage slightly. Alright, so the developer comment is the most important. Grenades were very strong compared to other factions' grenades, and this will bring them closer in line. They were, so that's good to know. Pentagon bosses. Oh my god, this mission's so bad. Reducing drone helicopter health and damage. Awesome. Slightly reduce health and armor for Brenner. Awesome. Reducing Brenner's mortar damage. Awesome. Decreasing armor of John Architect Figs. Awesome. Mortars. Reducing damage of mortars in Coney Island. Wow. Okay, good. Increased delay between UI warning and explosion damage of mortars in the Washington National Zoo, and fixing general damage scaling issues with mortars. I'm glad they put that in the last part because the mortars on Manning National Zoo are a fucking train wreck. I can't believe how bad it is to go to Washington National Zoo and do that. I mean, Manning National Zoo. It's just a wreck trying to get through that one spot, and you're just rushing over to the right side of the mission to just get through that door that slides up, and it tells you to destroy the mortar, but there isn't one there, and we've all been dealing with that for I don't know how long, so thank God that's getting dealt with now. Skills, assault turret, improving auto-targeting of assault turret to better prioritize NPCs it can shoot and which are close to it. That's good as well. Assault drone, improving behavior to prevent the drone from becoming stuck. Improving the consistency of firing and pathing. Okay, these are 2 good improvements, but I think there's more to skills that need to be improved. There are viable skill builds, but when you start moving them into the solo heroic or maybe even scaled heroic and legendary missions, it's really all about, from what I know, this is my opinion and what I've seen and done, is you mostly want a status effect build. I do not see anyone running a skill damage build that is just blowing shit up and destroying everything, but I also don't see anyone running a skill damage build really at all. From time to time you will, but it's mostly just a status effect / crowd control build. There doesn't seem to be a viable skill damage build right now when everyone was kind of used to the Hive and the Seeker Mine build from TU7. I understand that that was overkill, I guess. I really loved it, but it was overkill. I get it, and I enjoy the new challenge, but the skills need to be more viable than just an assault drone and assault turret improvement. I'm glad they're getting started somewhere, and I understand they're under quarantine, so I get that, but still, I think they need to continue with the skills. They've got a lot of work on their hands, that's for sure. Poison status effect. Event with the damage reduction to enemy NPCs poison continues to be extremely strong. This nerf will alleviate this further, which is reducing the tick interval, damage, and duration. I can't wait to see this. I'm gonna log in after this video and just see if the poison has actually been reduced to a manageable and realistic thing. I mean, the damage from the poison was like just terrible. All right. Additionally, we are planning another update that is currently scheduled for a later time in April, but please keep in mind that we might need to adjust the schedule. We will keep you updated if there are any changes. So, for the exotics and talent changes, we start off with Sawyer's knee pads. And before I say anything, or before I get started, I just want to point out, like everyone else knows, I got all the exotics. I mean, I got the Sawyer's knee pads, Imperial Dynasty, Dodge City Holster, Diamondback, Merciless. I got all of them. I tested all of them thoroughly, as much as I could. I would have liked to test more than, than I did, and I'm going to be testing more for sure. But wow, they're just lacking so bad. I mean, they're all just trophies sitting in a stash box, basically. I did like the Merciless, but thank God the explosion damage is being increased because it wasn't enough. It was about 2.6 mil, and for the enemy NPCs in TU8, that is not so great. I like the Chatterbox. Right before the ban wave, I had this Chatterbox SMG build. I know Widdz did one. I was made aware of that. Mine is a little bit different, but I don't really do build videos. I just kind of put that thing together with the build I was already running, changed, I think, 2 talents, and raised some crit hit chance and damage, and that was about it. And then I was made aware of his video. But I don't watch his shit. I'm not subscribed to him, so I didn't know, really. I just don't really see his stuff, so I'm sorry, but I'm not going to release that video anyway. Anyway, I got off topic, sorry. So the Sawyer's knee pads are reworked. Cannot be staggered by explosions. Great. Wow. Okay, increase total weapon damage by 3% each second you are not moving. Stacks up to 10 times, and stacks are lost when moving. Okay. This exotic only provides defensive attributes and no brand bonus, so now has potential for high damage and makes it appealing to both red and blue builds. Developer comment I already read, but it didn't provide enough engaging gameplay, so this change should help with that. I think it might, but I didn't play with these very much, so I don't want to put my opinion in there right now. Imperial Dynasty buff, reduced cooldown to 35 seconds, down from 40. That's alright. This buff is to better compensate for the lack of brand bonus. Yeah. Dodge City Holster, reduced charge uptime to 30 seconds from 50 seconds. That's good. This buff is to better compensate for the lack of brand bonus. Okay, so just like the previous one, that makes sense. I don't know if this is going to make them that much better. Dodge City Gunslinger comes with max rolls pretty much every time I got one to drop. I got one with 3 max rolls. I think the second time I got it, but I mean, that's cool and all. That's kind of the only one I noticed that usually comes in all max rolls, or I was damn lucky for the 3 or 4 times I got it. Diamondback reworked, thank God. Now grants all shots guarantee crits for 5 seconds after hitting a mark. Good. The Diamondback is underperforming, and this change should make the bonus a bit more exciting. Yes, it was extremely underperforming. And believe me, I probably spent 3 hours, 2 hours running around New York and DC with the Diamondback. And I spec'd into it as much as I could with the rifle build. And it just was so bad, especially compared to the M1A. Compared to the M1A, everything is less, but the Diamondback should have had a really good amount of from the agonizing bite talent, and it just didn't. It wasn't doing well enough. It only has 5 rounds. The reload time is too long. It needs an agonizing bite, and it wasn't really giving it. I'll give it that the Diamondback did seem to hit pretty damn hard, but it could have hit harder for sure. That's all I got to say about the Diamondback. The Merciless is kind of a slept-on gun. The explosion damage increased to 1200%, up from 900%. This is a very good gun, guys. I was making a build around it, of course, like the Diamondback with my rifle build, and that thing was shredding through shit really good. On top of that, the explosion damage was always around 2 million or more, never less. And you didn't always have to shoot, miss, shoot, miss, shoot, miss. You can, especially if you're on PC, you can keep nailing them and it will do an explosion. It's suggested to miss at least a few times, but when the explosion hits, I mean, it's pretty good, but it's not. I'm glad that it's being buffed up, that's for certain. And this is definitely a gun that I really want to test out. It might actually be worth it now, even more so than it was in TU8. Tag team reworked. So that is a chest piece talent. Actually, it's a backpack talent, I believe. The last enemy you have damaged with a skill is marked. Dealing weapon damage to that enemy consumes the mark to reduce active cooldowns by 6 seconds. Cooldown is 4 seconds and does not consume a mark if no skill is on cooldown. I don't know as much about the tag team or reassigned or empathetic resolve, so I'm not going to speak too much on them right now. Reassigned buff, killing an enemy adds 1 round of a special ammo into your sidearm, but they did reduce the cooldown to 15 seconds from 20. Tamper-proof is reworked. Enemies that walk within 3 meters of your hive, turret, or remote pulse are shocked. Arm time is 2 seconds, and increased cooldown per skill to 10 seconds, up from 5 seconds. Even though we are adjusting NPCs not rushing towards skills as much, this talent gives players the ability to be more lenient when placing their skills to gain the effect without turning themselves into a grenade. Okay, I'll have to see that in action. Empathetic resolve buff. Repairing an ally increases their total weapon and skill damage by 3 to 15% for 20 seconds, up from 10 seconds, so 1 to 7% itself. Currently, it is difficult to keep a high uptime in 4-man content as non-tank players try to be as safe as possible and NPCs have higher lethality, so chip damage is less frequent. This buff is also meant to make empathetic resolve able to better compete versus the true patriot debuffs. I sure hope so. Most people are probably going to stick with the true patriot though, but maybe not. True patriot does take, at least 4 pieces, so maybe. And Creeping Death, finally, when you apply a status effect, it is also applied to all enemies within 8 meters, up from 5 meters of your target, and they reduce the cooldown to 15 seconds, down from 20 seconds. And that's going to be it. As we continue work, we will update you further with further posts and blah, 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 blah. So I understand this is the first time I've read patch notes. I understand this is one of the first times I've done Division 2 news, but I feel like I want to do this. This is something I want to keep doing, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. And of course, I'll get better at this. And for anyone who thinks I'm shit at it, that's fine. I'm going to keep doing this. I enjoyed it, and I want to keep enjoying it, and I want to help the community out as much as possible. So any feedback would be really appreciated. And just let me know in the comment section below if you guys need anything changed that's just way out of whack from this video. I will try to keep it more polished, maybe more to the point. Just let me know in the comment section below. I want to thank you guys for watching Shadow Gaming. And I will have the daily targeted loot videos up at midnight every night at Pacific Standard Time. That's when they reset. And of course, the weekly vendor resets I'll be starting up again next Tuesday. So anyway, once again, agents, thanks for watching this title update 8.5 patch notes. Stay tuned for more Division 2 news. I will be on it as much as I can. Anyway, guys, Take care. Thanks for watching. Please hit that subscribe button as well. I don't get a lot of views from subscribers as much as I get from people who aren't subscribed. So hitting that subscribe button would mean a lot to me, guys. Anyway, last time, thanks for watching. Take care, guys. Goodbye.